Welcome, everybody, back to Javohn Wants to Know. And guess what? I have a special guest on today, Chase Bell. Chase, why don't you tell everybody who you are and what you do so we can get started into this?
Javohn, what's going on? My name is Chase Bell. I am a singer-songwriter, music producer, artist. I do events all over the world, and I'm a passionate writer and singer and instrumentalist. Write songs about inspiration, write songs about romance, and happy to be on Javohn's show.
Nice. Thank you for coming on. Now, I want to know what made you want to become a music artist?
Music was always very much a part of my life. It's the place that I learned how to develop myself very quickly. So I've learned piano, I learned guitar. My whole family sings. So I was in, you know, performances in New York by the time I was 14 and picked up a guitar very early and I fell in love with it. And it just gives me raison d'être in French, which is gives me a reason to be here.
I did hear you just say that you were instrumentalist. How many instruments do you play?
I play two instruments very well, guitar, piano, and then I sing. So those three instruments.
Hey, I like how you
Yeah.
how you said that. A lot of people don't realize the instrument of the voice and how that's something you have to tune in over the years too.
Yeah, I've been studying the vocals. I've been studying my whole life, but past 5 years really focused on singing and writing for other people and then performing.
I can say I've been listening to your songs for over a year now, and your melody is very consistent. It's a good sound. It does have that love vibe to it and cheerfulness to it. And it definitely, your music brings people together. And speaking of bringing people together, you run this thing called the Inner Circle. How did you come up with that idea, and what was the whole concept behind that?
I'll tell you exactly how it started. I was on stage in Uganda with Eddy Kenzo. So shout out to Eddy Kenzo and all my friends in Kampala. He invited me to go and perform with him. And I've been a performer my whole life. Like I said, I've been in clubs since I was 14, New York City, London, Paris, Norway, even performing. Africa, I've been once before. But in 2022, Eddy Kenzo invited me to perform at Eddy Kenzo Festival, a
Okay.
60,000 people performance. And Eddie really uh, shared his light, like shared the limelight with me, and let me jump on his stage. And then when I came back to LA, I was like, something clicked in me, man. I couldn't just do my LA normal clubs. I needed to get more people like together with me. And it was really, I saw it as an opportunity to start Inner Circle
Mhm.
as a place where I'm able to perform, but also I allow other people to perform with me, and it's really that's how it started. And Eddy Kenzo was one of the artists on the first night of Inner Circle in March 2023, or February, or sorry, February, January 2023. And as you've seen, I've done every month at least a show in LA, sometimes two, sometimes three, and we've done Inner Circle all over the world. Now we did it in Philippines and Zurich and
Wow.
Paris and New York and Houston and LA. And LA is definitely like my base. But yeah, basically is who is in your inner circle, who is who's got your back, and who's the people that you want to hang out with, and but
Yeah.
expand out from there. It's obviously there's 500, 600 people every time I do a show now in LA. I hope to get to like 1,500 by the end of next year, at least in LA. And yeah, it comes from that like share with people, really, get on the stage. But there's so much talent here in LA. Jovan, I wanted to give people, I'm like Eddie Kenzo does, and like other great artists that I work with do, they um they just naturally allow other people to flourish. So that's what I was hoping for. That's what started Inner Circle.
Nice. So it's like a almost like a passing of the torch type thing. You're like someone puts you on the stage and you're putting others on the stage.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's a lot to go around with. You want to the bigger thing you're going to do, the more people will feel that energy and be, a rising ship rises all sails or something like that. So, you know, you should be that kind of person. We all strive, I think, to be that kind of generous spirit. But but yeah, Inner Circle is all about that. How do we help each other out? So as you've seen over the past year, it's gotten big into the fashion world. It started with just singers, started and then it morphed into like singers and DJs. Then it morphed into singers and fashion, and the fashion's a great world because there's lots of different facets of the industry. There's the models, obviously, but there's the media guys that are all building their career off the models, and the models are building a career off of fashion photography.
Yeah.
And the singers, obviously, there's entrepreneurs in the room. So it's just a great like it's obviously I'm showcasing my art, but we're all co-creating the art together. And that's what, Inner Circle started as, and I think that is still its core. And it's just been a blast. So my team in LA is strong, and I just feel really grateful to have such incredible people I'm hanging out with
Yeah.
and being interviewed by the Javohn himself means the
Hey,
world to me. So, inner circle, bro. I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm not gonna stop that. It's gonna keep going.
yeah, I love the inner circle, man. I love the I guess the conglomerate of it. It's really I mean, like you said, you got fashion show, you have models, you have music artists, you even have sponsors, you even have the art god there, drawing on people during the show, so it's just so many different aspects of creativity going on all at the same time. It's
Absolutely.
amazing. All right, so
Yep.
what now you're an international singer. You have, had a lot of songs placed on TV shows and things like that. What are some of the shows called that you have placed and what songs were placed on there?
Yeah, recently, the TV shows have been. I was in a movie a couple weeks ago with Sean Valentino, so shout out to Sean Valentino. But on Netflix, you can check out Lucifer. You can check out Shameless. So I got my start in TV music, rock really. Uh, I started my career in LA releasing a funk album called Ain't Funkin' Around. Oh my God, Ain't Funkin' Around. Anyway,
Okay.
that whole album got onto Lucifer, which is on Netflix, and
Right.
Shameless was the next one. But yeah, since then my career has kind of morphed more into my core, which is singer-songwriter. So all my songs come from being a singer-songwriter, and I started to really produce other artists. So worked with maybe 500 artists at this point. I don't know, something like that. It has to be in the hundreds, producing. And every time I'm producing another artist, Jovan, you're kind of producing your own art within you, of course, as you know.
Yeah.
So my career kind of shifted away from TV, but I'm always happy to go back there. Been jumping on big stages. 2025 was a huge year for me. I stepped on stage with Travel Seeds and Sukari in Rotterdam, Spain. So like I don't know how many thousands of people there. Uh, so just do these big shows all over the world this year. So I'm very grateful to have done that. And but yeah, TV's always I'm always happy to be on TV and on film. So whenever that'll happen again, I'm sure it'll be cool.
Yeah. I do want to know something. I'm taking back a little bit. How did it feel that first time when you got on stage and it was like 60,000 people? And it seemed like it was a little bit of a surprise you was going to end up there. How did that feel to you? Just give me that experience like if I'm standing there.
Man, it was a great show. You're talking about 2022 with Eddy Kenzo.
Yes.
So yeah, 60,000 people he had there, and he has a really strong team. Again, that was like one of the genesis stories of Inner Circle, the company that I've run the past 3 years. And yeah, it was amazing. Like flew out to East Africa and was it's a huge adrenaline rush to jump on a stage that big with such incredible artists. I mean, they had international massive Afro-pop artists. I was the R&B artist there, American R&B artist.
Hmm.
And I actually sent 5 songs to the DJ, and I didn't expect the DJ to pick that song because I was like, oh, whatever, I'll throw this EDM electronic dance music song, right? But this is an East Afro-pop world, not Nigerian music, but like East African. So they're very like it's a specific feel, and it's a really cool. I love that style, but it's very laid back. And so like they had this whole concert where everybody's listening to this laid back music, 60,000 people, and then they paid $4 to get in each one of them, and that's a lot over there. So, everybody's looking at you when you're on stage, they're like, you better, show up. But I gave the DJ 5 songs, like I said, and he picked the EDM song. So I was like, why are you picking that song? That's a European type song, but they loved this Jovan. They really, I mean, the whole place went crazy for that song. And then the team over the next year, Eddy Kenzo's team was like, you have to release a version with Eddie. So, fun fact, it's the first song that I've released. The version with Eddy Kenzo, Your Sky Has No Limit remix, is in Swahili as well as
In
English.
Swahili?
Yeah,
Wow. That's
a
great.
little Swahili, little Uganda, and a little English. So Eddie is just
Yo,
mixing the styles on us.
that's nice right there. I like it. That's definitely a mix up right there if I ever heard it. Okay, now chasing your dream as an artist. What does this mean to you? And tell me the origin of the story when you did the song with Aloe Blacc.
Aloe Blacc, man, what a legend! What an incredible R&B and EDM artist. I've been listening to his music since he came out. You know, his stuff has hit the radio. We all know his songs, right? But around 2018, 2019 is where I got obsessed with Avicii, and Aloe's voice is what blew Avicii, you know, to become this international DJ, the superstar DJ, right? So um, I was listening to Aloe Blacc's music back then, 2018, 2019. I had a studio, I was producing artists, and it was like, oh, what a dream would be to work with Aloe Blacc. And then, you know, I got in a studio session with him, and then you know, I wasn't quite prepared for the studio session with Aloe Blacc, and then I started to, you know, get the right songs start to come to me, and I knew I had one for him. I just knew I
Mm.
had one for him. So that song was called Be Myself, and it was a great song. I reached out to his assistant. Finally, I got on a Zoom call with him to do a writing session for, you know, the legend Aloe Blacc.
Mhm.
And I showed him a bunch of songs, Javohn, and then I finally showed him Be Myself. That was the first song that we wrote together. So Aloe's an incredible singer, but he's also an incredible writer, like really. And I work with writers a lot. So like he is an incredibly talented. A lot of artists are talented, but they're not really writers. But Aloe Blacc is a really, really good writer as well as a singer.
Right.
But Chasing Your Dream, yeah. So Chasing Your Dream is actually the third song that we did together, but it's the first song that we released together as artists. So Chasing Your Dream came out 2023. Then we did three remixes the next year, 2024. It went really quickly, did really well on Spotify really quickly, and has been, you know, amazing to go from wishing to write music with an artist to writing music with an artist to releasing and performing music with that artist. So, you know, he's got a warm place in my heart to my friend Aloe Blacc. Glad he's doing well out there in the world, and I'd love to get another song with him. You know, I think chasing your dream is a mindset that we all have. All artists that
True.
are good are
True.
entrepreneurs. Jovan, as you know, you just started a podcast. You have to be business savvy. You have to have your heart in it. You have to have your passion in
Yeah.
it, and they have to be together. And the reason why it's chasing your dream and not follow your dream is because you got to go after it. You can't just be
Mhm.
like kind of lax about this game. You got to be after it, chasing your dream all the time. It's not like a I'm done type feeling.
Yeah, and they could get
It's
away from
in
the dream could get away from it if you don't chase it.
Yeah, you got to go after it, man. You got to go after it, and it's a constant thing. It's not like it's a never, oh, cool, I did that, done. It's like here we are again. I have another opportunity to chase something great. That's what I'm going for.
What is it like to produce music, from, in the cast legend, African legend, Eddy Kenzo? How was it producing music from him? Did you experience like anything, like any like kickback from the culture or anything like that?
Well, you know, he's a big East African artist, and he he has well, we spent 2 weeks working on music every single day, and that was the first those first sessions that me and Eddy Kenzo did. We wrote Twist, we wrote Motivation, which hasn't released yet, but Twist came out this year and has been a big song. So yeah, it took me a little bit of time to like as a producer switch gears into the East African field, but I'm a pop producer, and he knows that. He knows that I'm a pop producer. He is not trying to find this. Why would he? You know, he's his roots and his understanding of his roots are really strong. So I
Okay.
can even no matter what I can do, he's gonna stay who he is. So that's
Yeah.
what's cool
Yeah.
because I'll try to make Eddy Kenzo stretch as an artist, but he can stretch into other things, but he's always got this very, very important relationship with his root system, which is
Yeah.
East Africa in Uganda. And I've been there now twice. I love it there. I have a
Uh,
good affinity for the culture and everything like that. I know how to work their music, but I'm always Afro pop. It's not just Afro music; it's Afro pop. And what makes it pop is my understanding of this global world we live in, this global music understanding. So I think Twist is one of those, you know, with the roots in East Africa, but it was a pop song. You know, everybody can listen to Twist, Twist. For so many reasons, dance to this, no matter what, and feel it. So, yeah, I mean, was there a little bit of kickback? I don't think actually there was. There was more of an very interesting amount of like affinity. that I wasn't expecting actually. You know, as an American, we think the world is a certain way, and then you go out and you see it and you realize, oh, it's actually way different. So like in East Africa, you know, I was really embraced. People love my music, ask me questions, and you know, they're super artistic people out there, actually. I was really surprised. The culture is very like very musical and very artist centric. Like there's a lot of artists out there and musical artists.
Mm.
So that was pretty cool to witness and be a part of. And I got more music with Eddy Kenzo coming out, so I'm really excited about that.
Tell me about the new song that you had with Eddie. You said it was called Twist, and like, how did you like how huge was this music video? You did it in Uganda. It has like over a 500,000 views already, right? Like something like
Yep. So I
dang.
brought in these like international global stars to do this song, and I called them all and I said, "Hey, we're going to Uganda. You want to do this music video?" And they were like, "Okay." So we all flew out to Uganda, and you know, Eddy Kenzo is a star over there. He's really like superstar. So you can't just walk around with him. Um, he has a big team, directors, producers, assistants, and all these different people are, you know, talking to all these different people about what we're gonna do, what the music video is. You know, I just flew out, so I don't know, whatever. It's like I'm walking into his castle. I don't know. I'm not gonna tell him what to do, you know. If he comes to LA, then I'm gonna tell him, hey, bro, I want you to do this, 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 you know. But Eddy Kenzo's king over there, so we went over to Uganda to shoot a music video called Twist, and it was just incredible. I could feel the energy from the people. We did it right in the middle of the marketplace of Kampala. We did it on the streets of Kampala, and it was just like you know, normal people walking by going like, what are all these American artists with these big cameras, like what are they doing here? And this must be for Eddy, you know.
Yeah.
And then, you know, because Eddy can't be in on the streets of Kampala, we went to a private. He rented a huge stadium, like a big, you know, football stadium. I don't know, 20,000 seats or something. I don't know. Maybe he rented it. Maybe they gave it to him. But either way, we're in we're in that
Yeah,
stadium.
you're
You
in
know,
there.
there's security everywhere, and we brought like 30 incredible dancers. Javon, it was really cool. So Twist has been an incredible process and a writing journey, and now the success of it has been like, you know, just warms my heart, man, because it's a great song. It's got a great feeling. We wrote it in the pandemic. You know, that's how long ago this song was written. And at the end of the hook, it says, you know, stay, um, you know, test free. Like don't worry about testing yourself, you know, just enjoy life. Twist is about enjoying life, but with everybody. So it's not supposed to like make people feel like they're in a corner. No, no, we're all when you listen to music, everybody's on the same page. You know, we're all human, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was cool. It was cool. Definitely check out Twist by Eddy Kenzo. All you need to do is type in Twist, Chase Bell, Eddy Kenzo. It'll all come up. Shout out to my friend Ghanaian King Kwakese and Jamaican legend Sukari for making that happen with me.
Yeah, that's a really good one. That one has so much energy in that too. I really love those shots from that one right there.
Yeah.
Now, I heard you have a lot of entrepreneurial groups that you work with. How did you get into artists, embracing these types of entrepreneurs?
Yeah, man. So there is Keith Ferrazzi started this entrepreneurial world for me. He mentored me. I
Mhm.
asked him to mentor me. Maybe 2019, maybe 2018 timeframe. He wrote a book called Never Eat Alone. So if you're an entrepreneur or if you're, you know, striving or, you know, going after being an entrepreneur, I really suggest you read Never Eat Alone. I especially read that book when I always ate alone because I'm like, I only got money to feed myself, right? I'm gonna eat alone.
Man,
But this book was very, very inspiring, changed my brain, really changed my brain. And then, you know, obviously being mentored by the guy that wrote the book, the number one bestseller, was huge. And it just started to, you know, I started to be, I was, you know, as an artist, you know this, as a good artist, it needs to hang out with other artists. That's why Brooklyn is full of artists. That's why, you know, certain parts of LA, Venice, full of artists. Like artists need to be with other artists, and I had a lot of that in my life. I lived in like London, like Rome. I've lived in New York, Philadelphia, LA, and now I get to. I'm good at it. I'm good at my art, and I need to show it off to people that are not like me, like the entrepreneurs that have their head focused on the numbers and the money. And so around 2019, I was being mentored by Keith Ferrazzi, and he kept introducing me to these people and these groups of people. who are massively successful entrepreneurs, and I'm just the guy that knows how to play guitar. Like, and, I'm the artist, and I'm the only artist in the room.
Yeah.
So, that's when you start to you have a chance to rewire your brain, like think about things differently because there's some things that I've gotten right in this world, some things that I need to learn about. So the
Oh,
entrepreneurs told me how to kind of gave me a good framework for what I need to do better. And so, like, yeah, over the past 3 or 4 years, I've been working with Beyond Connections and very grateful for them. Inc. 5000 list, Human Bees, CEO of Human Bees, has been very influential in my life. Um, and yeah, so, and other many entrepreneurs that don't want to be named. But yeah, so entrepreneur, I mean, like I said before, the artist or the modern artist has to be an entrepreneur, but
true.
I'm grateful for people that like Keith Ferrazzi that have opened up my world and my understanding of how other businesses work because I needed that.
Yeah, and that's something that I was talking to another artist recently about, and a lot of times artists don't understand the entrepreneurship part that goes with being a music artist or a business, period. That's almost two separate hats you have to fuse together as one. A lot of people neglect one, and it really affects them long term down the line. So
Yeah, true.
that you said the book was called Don't Eat Alone, right?
Never eat alone.
Never eat alone. I then see. I didn't have that issue about never eating alone because how I'm a big family guy, like cousins and everybody. I just always been people around me. But I did when I was younger. This client did tell me something that he said he liked about me. I would be doing his graphic design, and he would come in with food for the company, and I would never eat it. And he was like, one day he got to me, he said, "Why don't you eat like when you're working?" I said, "Because," and I really felt this way. This is how I am. I said, "Because I don't feel right if I eat and I'm not sure my family ate yet." And he was like, "I've never heard anyone put it like that." That
Yeah, that's a good response. That's a very good response. That's funny, bro. I lived in Italy for like 8 years, right? So you got to eat all the time. That wouldn't have worked, if you went to Italy. You would have had to eat when you got home with your family and when you were out with people.
Right, it'd have
You
been
wouldn't have been able to
disrespect or
choose.
something, right?
But yeah, never eat alone. It's just about, eating is a sacred thing and you have to share it with someone.
Yeah,
And use it as an opportunity to learn more about people, really. That's the point of, I mean, that's the very baked version of the book, but I think that's one of the core points of it is that everything's an opportunity to meet to get to know someone and to be influenced by someone and
nice.
to influence them in a good way and share your food. Like if you can't share that, like what do you have? And I think that's really cool. I think that the people around us that we all look up to are generous.
Yeah,
Generous with their connections. If you can't share food, you're not going to share anything else, bro. Because
right.
yeah,
Trust me, I eat now, and I still get home and make sure they eat too.
yeah,
As I got older, I was like, no, no, I'm going to break bread with you.
yeah, yeah.
I'll switch it up a little bit. I want to see what you think about this whole AI artist boom thing going on. There's one artist, Zanai Monet, signed for like some millions of dollars, was on 5 charts, and just, her creator, Talisha, I think her name is Talisha, is like,
Yeah,
oh, this is a good move. But some people like Jermaine Dupri, they're like, they're not really feeling it. They feel like, yo, Milli Vanilli, they used to do that kind of stuff and they got took out. So what are your thoughts behind this whole new AI movement?
Yeah, I think it's a huge boom, but it will have definitely have a bust. I think that just because music becomes more accessible for more people doesn't mean everyone should do it. It
Mhm.
becomes easier to make music, but it's not about it being easy or hard. It's about whether you're the type of person that should be, expressing their truest self through music, and that's not going to be for everybody. And realistically, just because you can press a button and then make a song doesn't make you an artist. And I've seen this happen. Like every time a technology comes into play, maybe it's a little easier, but you strip the technology away, and are you really a musical artist? Like
Yeah,
I all my songs come from my guitar, my voice, my piano. Of course, I know how to produce. I know how to write. I can write all the different. I can have all the different tools available to me. Every single type of violin, every single type of sound. But those are just tools. Those are not. They're not from the right place necessarily. Just because I have access to tools doesn't mean I should be allowed to use them. So I think that there's definitely a boom going on. Obviously, it's great that people are excited about it, but it hasn't touched my actual method of making music. Thankfully, I don't think it's going to. And I think the reason why is because I know how to make music. I learned how to make music with the tools that were available to me, the
Yeah,
instruments, and I have that background, and I love that background, and I that is what music really is. Um, it comes from our generations of us, as cultural people from all over the world that, relate down to those 12 notes, that relate to a piano, that relate to scales. If you don't have that understanding, I don't know, somehow we have these geniuses around us, right? The Timbalands and the Dr. Dre's, maybe, that aren't really musicians, but somehow they've been able, and they truly are geniuses, but that doesn't mean everyone's going to be like that.
yeah,
So those are the flukes of nature, but you're not probably a fluke of nature. You're just another person who doesn't have anything, and then thinks that they can just use a tool like AI to create music. What it does is you're disrespecting, in my opinion, the point of music. If you just think, oh well, music's easy now, like, oh, go ahead, like, try, please, because what it is, you know, not everyone's supposed to do the same things. Where we all have these gifts and talents that we're supposed to
no,
cultivate over years.
yeah,
So I'm a songwriter, I'm an artist, and I've spent years dedicated to the craft of it, and I love that. And you can't fake it, bro. The top musicians in the world, the top music in the world is, in my opinion, never going to be driven from a computer-based system. The fire comes from the human part of you. So the part of writing music, the hardest part of writing a song is the fire, the starting of the fire. So like the actual point of it. So you can, once you start a fire, then throw all these, ingredients on the fire. That's what AI might be able to do. But you can't start the passion you have to be human to start that passion.
yeah,
And eventually, that's the kind of thing that's going to rise to the top. So yeah, there's many probably AI artist examples, but I think that they will start to get kind of bored with that computerized thing and get back to basics, man. You just give me a guitar, I can sing for you right now. Like, that's the reason why people want me around, because I'm real. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, and
So
it will also it's also gonna put more importance to performing live performances too. Um, people, I really love going to see someone live because you can really feel that music, and there's no way that you can do that with an AI. I don't care how great the song is, you can't make people feel it live in a live concert. It's just gonna sound like a soundtrack.
exactly, exactly. I was at many, many big stages around the world, like, Rototom in Spain this year. Every one of those cats on stage, man, knew how to play that instrument, and if you give it to the wrong person, the whole thing falls apart. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, you can play a note on a thing if you want, but or press a button, but yeah, like the real deal is something next level. Like, and you can tell, you can immediately tell, even people that are not uh, spent their whole life learning these things, like just with video too. Like, but video has started to take over with AI too. But I think that I've watched the industry shift a little bit with that too, with the Javohn people that have a camera, right? Um, I'm curious what you think about the AI world with videos. But for me, I've gone back to basics. Like,
Yeah,
I do music videos all the time. You see my music videos. There's no AI in these music videos because I have an inner circle. I have people around me that want to be
yeah,
on screen with me. Why would I want to put fake people there? Why
right,
would why would I want to put something behind me that's not real? It doesn't make sense because it's not true.
yeah,
But yeah, I guess that's the luxurious thing. And yeah, it is cool. I'm not saying it's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying that, like, it can be a crutch for a lot of people. You shouldn't, like, think, oh well, I don't have to learn an instrument because there's AI. Like, that's just dumb. You don't.
right.
That won't work, like, for me. And I think that those people will be weeded out by the process. The people that think, oh, I don't have to. I'll fix it in AI. Like, no, you won't, because you lost the passion for it. It's not about fixing it. Music is not about, when you listen to a song, are you trying to get to the end? No, you're in it. You're in the song.
Yeah.
So it's not about finding the finish line. This is a game. This is a game of perpetual game that we're in, chasing your dream. You got to keep going, keep doing it.
Yeah, I really feel it's good for post-production assistance, there
Okay.
is an AI app that can clean your music, so you know how you have the little spaces between bars. You can clean it out, you can just find them all for you and clean it. Normally I would have to go do it. All engineers, we have to go do it, naturally. So that type of way, there's some AI that will slice up your cuts for you and save you time. So if you're using it in that way to speed up production and make it more cost effective for you, I can see it in that way. But if it is creating the ultimate idea for you, then you're not really creating anything. You're just, allowing some foreign object to put some non soul into your what you saying is soulful.
Exactly, exactly. Give us the soul.
Yeah.
Give us the real things. What people want anyway.
Now, I want to know this. If you could perform with, an artist that you haven't performed with, who would that be?
Uh, I've been shooting music at Teddy Swims since before he was famous, and he has responded to me a couple times saying, "I love your writing." But I've yet to, lock in a song with Teddy Swims. He's definitely influenced my singing over the past few years, and great writer, incredible artist. I think everyone loves him now. So that would definitely be one of them. Um, Strong male singers are my favorite. I got a couple of great ones under my I've already worked with a couple of amazing ones, and Teddy would be up there. Let's see if there's another one, another great singer. Arya Starr. I do a song with Arya Starr. Yeah,
Okay.
familiar with her?
Yeah, yeah. Very nice. I can see,
Beautiful
I can
girl.
see, I can see y'all like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We would shine together for sure.
Yeah.
Arya Starr. Let's go. Let's get a collab in. Let's do it.
What is the most bizarre thing that you have ever experienced in the music industry? And don't hold back, because I asked all the music artists this. Let's tell me a story.
Bizarre thing. You want to hear a story about the music industry? I got a funny one. I mean,
Yeah, let's go.
I was working, as an engineer, recording artists for years. So I think at one point I was like, $25 an hour. I'll record you. And I'm a wizard, bro. Like I know how to sing and know how to, tune your vocals. And I can read the thing. I know exactly what's going on. I know rhythm. I know all that stuff. And I know how to record. So anyway, I record like, three, four artists a day. Um, and whatever, whoever wants to come. I'm not picky. I work with Billie Eilish, work with Aloe Blacc, but I also work with like, hundreds of artists you never heard of. So this one day, one of the artists you never heard of comes into my studio, and super, gangster, but like, whatever. It's the music industry. I don't. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Until it does mean something. But anyway, so he came in with his cousin. His cousin sat down. The cousin started eating a burrito, and so the singer he gets in the booth and he starts going like, it's a rap song. So he starts rapping like I'm not kidding, bro. He's like, I'm gonna shoot the engineer that's over there on the computer, and can't wait to my cousin's eating a burrito and he'll shoot the guy at the computer. And I stop and I'm like, wait. Like the first time in Javon, I'm like, are you trying to freak me out, bro?
Right.
And the artist in the booth's like, no, bro, I'm just fucking with you.
Uh-uh.
Whatever, like, yeah, I'm just trying to be inspiring. I was like, okay, whatever, I'll let it go. Like, you're trying to be funny, like it's all good. He's eating a burrito. No, nobody's gonna hurt me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he turns on the microphone again, and he starts rapping. He's like, I swear this engineer's gonna die, my friend. And I was like, I got really scared, bro. And I was like, okay, I can't act like I'm scared because guys, because and I cut the music and I was like, get the fuck out of my studio.
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
like right now. And then they showed me he had a gun in the pocket. And he's like, "Fuck you! You don't like rappers. You don't like my art." And I'm like, "I love your art, brother. Just get out before you hurt me, please."
Yeah. Right.
So I was like, "It ain't worth it. It ain't worth the $25 an hour to record that artist."
Yeah.
But that was kind of funny. And then I called my girlfriend at the time, and I was like, "Babe," and she was not supportive at all, bro. She just like laughed at me. He's like, "What? He had a burrito and he was trying to kill you or fucking."
Wait, that's what I was thinking though.
Yeah.
He said,
And
I'm
I
gonna
was
kill
like,
you with the burrito.
look, hon. He had a gun in that backpack, and he just happened to be eating a burrito. But I swear, if I recorded that, I think I recorded the session. I'm pretty sure I got rid of it. But like that's types of things happen. It's like you can't make that up. That
Not make
really
that.
happened. You know.
I dealt with something similar to that doing photography for a music artist. It was a group. There was some gangsters, some real gangsters, and
Okay.
uh I remember was in this pool hall and they had, drinks all on the table and a gang of money, and they straps was right there. One pulled a pow pointed at me like take a picture like and I was like, man, you don't have to aim that over there, I said, let me see that, I know how to handle it. I'm like, okay, I have to make sure nothing in here, but it really, as much as I handled it well, my heart was beating so fast. I was like, yo, I'm like in the wrong situation right now just to make a little bit of cash. So, so I feel you,
Like
right?
I wasn't expecting that. Yeah.
Not expecting it at all.
But yeah,
Now,
having a gun pointed at you is not a good feeling, and
not,
but it is an interesting feeling though. I'll be honest, because like the whole everything starts to go in like you start to get. I don't know if it's happened to you, but I get like a Spider-Man sense. Like I get really when you're that close to danger, you start to realize, oh wow, I have all this extra like thought ability that I don't have normally because I'm not usually in this high stress,
yeah,
but I really can overthink what is he thinking, what maybe what over process what the other person's doing, every little movement. When you have a gun point of view, it's like you have to over process that moment. So, there's a lot of options and you have to just,
yeah,
but
you're thinking for
yeah,
everyone because they're obviously out of their mind.
yeah.
At least
But
at
man, studios are great. I've been in many, many studios all over the world. South America, Africa, Italy, London, Norway, and
yeah,
my
you're
home
well
studio is the one where
international.
they pulled a gun on me.
Yeah, that only one time.
Yeah, right. Only one time. Just one and done, bro. We're good on that.
Right. Man, that's all it takes is one though.
That's true.
Just one. Now, speaking of that, you're very traveled internationally. Now, what is the message that you want your music to portray to people when they hear it?
Man, every song has its own message.
Mm,
But the underlying thing, I want you to have confidence. I want you to love the people around you. I want to make sure that my songs are good for the imprinting of a young psyche and young people, but also everyone's psyche is young at some level. You are being imprinted upon by the music that you listen to. So when I was writing the songs off of Lucifer, I love those days, but it started to get to me all those, trying to be rock and roll type songs and like I'm a badass and I like now I write songs that are trying to be romantic or trying to make you feel powerful like the great songs that I love.
yeah.
Wake Me Up, Avicii and Aloe Blacc. That song influenced me for years and still does. Like that, it's an enlightening feeling. So spiritual it
Mm,
is a touch. I have a touch of that in my music. And you better walk away feeling good, better. Like that's my point. That's my point in my music.
nice. There's one
Hmm.
more thing I want to know before we get out of here, and that is if you had a time machine and you were able to, fly back to your young self, Lil Chase, and prove to yourself, hey, I am you from the future, what would you tell yourself that would help you right now today?
What would I tell myself that would help myself now?
Yeah.
It's an interesting way to think about it, bro. Oh man, what would I say? I think Little Chase was good. He's a good guy
Okay.
and really talented and work ethic was insane. I'd play guitar 4 or 5 hours a day.
Wow.
Yeah. I was insanely dedicated to the art and the process of it. I would say maybe different times and moments in my life, I would say different things, but maybe if we'll take 17, 18-year-old Chase, I would just say wake up a little earlier and get out and about a little earlier because I would wake up late and that's not cool. That's never going to be
Mhm.
cool. So wake up early and get out there in the world. Like I did a lot of that, but I mean a little more of that wouldn't have hurt. And don't yeah, I would say don't worry about falling down because you're going to get back up and you're going to be even stronger. And especially when performing, like you have to be if you're going to perform. I perform a lot. They say like they say it's cut your teeth. I
Mhm.
cut my teeth in London, in Camden Town. I perform every night in Camden Town. People are just drinking. There was lots of tourists, and maybe I performed like two, three times a week, and I thought that was good. And that's cool. You
Yeah.
can feel that confident, but what about just one more time? Because that one more time per week over time can really make you a better performer. So yeah, I would just tell little me, like, do more of what you're doing if possible. Don't
Yeah.
stay home and think about what you're doing. Just go ahead and do it.
Yeah, that's good advice right there. Just go make it happen, and I see that you're living that fact. So, you learned this all the way to now. So I'm sure you wake up early pretty much now, right?
Yeah, I do put a lot of hours into what I do.
Yeah, nice. Well, we're gonna close it out, but before we do that, I just want you, to open up the floor to you. Go ahead, if you want to do some shout outs to everybody where to catch you or how to get in contact with you, the floor is yours.
Yeah, man. I mean, since we're on YouTube, I got a YouTube channel, Chase Bell. I think you just type in Chase Bell, it should come up. But this year, I think I did 6 music videos all over the world, and this next year, 2026, I want to do more like 10. So
Nice.
check me out on all those different videos I've done. Performances are all up there. And thank you, Javon, because I appreciate having you or working with you on some of those videos. Actually, you did work with me on those, and all the events, bro. You're just you're a blessing to have around, bro, because you're a good guy, but you're also dedicated to the people around you. So thanks a lot, man.
Thank you too, man. And for you guys, I will definitely have in the description his links and everything. You click on his link, go straight to his YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to it. And you better subscribe to this channel too if you're watching this. All right. I'll
Do
see you guys later. You guys have a good one. Tune in. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Keep them comments coming too. Have questions for me to ask on the next episode.